It began with a flash on the radar, silent, distant, and deadly. In the frozen skies above Alaska, U.S. jets scrambled to meet Russian warplanes inching toward America's frontier. This wasn't routine. It was a warning, and no one knew who would blink first. They say the Arctic sky is empty. Nothing stirs beyond wind and silence. But in September of this year, the heavens above Alaska crackled with tension. Radar screens blinked red. Alerts cut through the quiet control rooms of NORAD, not warnings of storms but of warplanes. Two Russian Tu-95 Bear bombers, accompanied by the Su-35 fighters, pushed deep into the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone, a DISA buffer zone, where any aircraft must identify itself before entering U.S. sovereign airspace. They remained just over the line. Officially, no laws were broken, but in that frozen expanse, the difference between just outside and invading is razor thin. The scramble order went out like a gunshot. F-16s roared from their bases, refueled mid-air by KC-135 tankers. An E-3 Sentry AWACS orbited overhead, coordinating every move, every radar ping, every decision. These jets weren't out for a joyride. They were asked to intercept, to signal, to warn. As the Russian formation advanced, the U.S. fighters approached sharply, cutting into the corridor of air. They didn't fire. They didn't provoke. They identified. They escorted. They made one thing clear: the skies above Alaska are watched. And America answers. The Russian bombers coasted silently, engines humming. Su-35s weaved protective patterns, probing, testing. At one point, one of the Su-35s slashed across dangerously close to a U.S. F-16, and act observers would later call unsafe and unprofessional. But the F-16 held steady. No chase, no retaliation, just presence. Minutes felt like hours. Every electronic pulse, every radar lock, hung in the balance. No weapons fired, no provocation ignored, just a cold dance of supremacy and deterrence. Then, eventually, the Russian planes turned away slowly, without warning. They fell back, slipping out of the ADIZ, leaving behind patrol patterns and tension in their wake. The U.S. jets shadowed them until safety was assured, then returned to base. Screens cooled, engines powered down. The Arctic sky once again silent until next time. But this was no ordinary intercept. It was the 9th such incident this year, a pattern in motion. Some call it testing the line. A probe, a message whispered in supersonic speed. We can reach you. We can threaten your borders. We know your watches. In Alaska's frozen air, the boundary between war and peace is thin. One step too far and deterrence can collapse into confrontation. The U.S. stance has always been clear. We see you. We respond. We defend. For Russia, these flights serve purpose: intimidation, testing reaction times, gathering intel, sending geopolitical signals.
For America, these responses are practice. Practice for skies where no mistake can be forgiven. The Arctic becomes the stage. Aircraft become actors. And the audience? All of humanity. Because when warplanes drift into your skies, even in zones that are technically international, every intercept becomes a message: we are watching. We are ready. This is not just about presence, it's about resolve.